Hello, this is Derek, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the US dollar collapse and what it's going to mean for the country of Canada. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when the United States dollar is going to collapse, and it's a matter of what the manifestations for the collapse are going to be. And yeah, I mean, it's a matter of guessing the what's, but every day I wake up I can put a little bit of more of those jigsaw puzzle pieces together. As I'm putting the jigsaw puzzle pieces together during this 2012 shift in consciousness, it's a countless endeavor. Anyway, what's going to happen is the dollar is going to go through a collapsing period. It already is. We have seen the dollar here, just US dollar and Canadian dollar. It used to be under 70 cents less than a decade ago, or around to 70 cents. Next thing you know, in 2006, our dollar was worth more. It got to the point where I was not wanting to accept American quarters and American dimes, just like they don't like to accept our quarters and our dimes, which was quite ironic, if you will. And then their dollar rallied, and now we noticed our Canadian dollar starting to pick up, and it's over 90 cents. What seems as if is going to happen over the short term is all other currencies, including ours, is going to go up over the US dollar. We have seen it go from like 78 cents up to 91 cents already, and it's most likely not only going to break the dollar mark, but it's also not only going to break the previous 2006 level, which was about $1.08, but even a lot higher than that. Now, the level of the collapse has a lot to say with that number, and there's no resistance or technical indicators for me to see exactly where it could be, but it's at the point of anyone's guess. It could be $1.50, $1.70, it could be $2 in our favor. The Zimbabwe dollar got hammered before when they went through their collapse. So what this is going to mean right now is if you are buying in America, meaning you are buying in American dollars, you are actually taking your passport going down to the States, you're going to notice their dollars are cheaper and their product prices are going to be cheaper. Now, inflation's going to have a lot to say with that, because the Americans are going to be going through a massive explosion in their inflation. Now, so are we also, but it makes a lot of sense that their inflation is going to outweigh our inflation right now. So what this can mean is, say a product here in Canada that's, say, $20 to buy, which is $16 in the United States, well, it may get to the point where it's now, the $16 product is now $90. No joke, you never know how serious this might get. And it's $70 or $60 in Canada, or anything of that nature, but we are able to get for our Canadian loonie maybe 2 American dollar bills. So we would able, in a sense, to get a deal. That's what I'm saying. Now, I don't know exactly if it will be a deal to get American products. It'll all be based on the inflationary fact. And do you even really want to go into the United States, because they will have probably a lot more civil unrest than it's going to be at this part of the globe here. Now, another thing too is if you're making American money, that could be something else. I know you might have enjoyed recently some extra money when we had our dollar at 80 cents and 84 cents, or on the other side, even up to $1.29. And that means for every $100, you're like, wow, I got 127, 128 bucks. Those days are over. Right now, your 100 will get you 110, and then it's going to go down to par, and then you're going to, for your 100, it's going to give you 90, then 80, then 70, and 60, and whoa, your money has just been devalued. They expect a lot of that to happen. I know there's a lot of Canadians, and this is not just for Canadians, this is for people in Europe and Australia, that you do make a lot of money in whichever ways in US dollars it's going to be affected in that manner. Now, a big reason for the collapse is because they went off the gold standard and the money is fiat. An example of that could be said with the coins. Say the United States coins before 1964, I think, their coins were 90% silver, for the quarters and the dimes. 90% silver. That means you had real money. A 1964 quarter back then, you would take that quarter and you would get yourself a gallon of gas. It was 25 cents a gallon most likely. Now at $2.50 a gallon, you are still getting a gallon of gas out of that quarter because you can sell it most likely for around $2.50. Living proof is, if you don't think you can sell it, I'll buy it from you for $2.50 because silver maintains its value. And in Canada, we don't have 90% silver, but it was still good. It was 80% silver. Now the difference is Canada did a little bit longer, or did better in getting off of these metals, meaning I was saying before with the Canadian coin that, heck, I mean, look at this. This is 8 cents. I got this back yesterday from a store for a product that I bought for 92 cents. I gave the clerk a $1 loonie and I got back a nickel and 3 pennies. And I manifested 3 amazing coins because the nickel was made in 1981. This is pure silver worth about 7 cents plus Canadian metal-wise. And then I got 3 coins from 1972, 1993, and 1980. Pure copper. This is worth more than the 3 cents that it's printed on, because of the value of the metal. It's not like that anymore. They're now putting in the steel and the metals, or putting in copper that's nowhere near what's worth, and so on. For example, the loonie is 88% copper, 12% tin, meaning that it's worth well under a dime. Maybe a little, maybe even under a nickel, I don't know. A toonie, the silver part of the toonie, is pure nickel, so it's worth about a nickel. And the gold part is mostly copper, so it's worth about a penny or 2. So it's worth under 8 cents, or about 8 cents. I don't know. I'm sure someone could tell me exactly what it's worth, but it's not worth as much. Now it cost them 16 cents to mint a toonie, and they say it lasts 20 years. Before, the $2 bills cost 6 cents, and they lasted a year. So they're making money doing it this way. Nonetheless, what I'm trying to say is a revolution is most likely going to happen. This is using Mayan calendar code to figure this out, and the Mayan calendar code has very good accuracy. The revolution is because money is nothing but debt. The series Money as Debt, Zeitgeist Addendum, Money Masters do an extraordinary, amazing job at explaining to you how fiat currency works. So the awakeningness is part of this 2012 shift, and people are awakening to the fact that we are a slave to the dollar, but not only are we a slave to a dollar, we're a slave to a product that has very little value. Because what's the practical use of money, of pieces of paper? This is $100 trillion. It's a piece of paper. Yet what can I do with this? Maybe I can go and buy maybe a lunch somewhere as a souvenir item? Yeah. That's pretty much all I can do with it. It's because of the paper that it's printed on. Our paper is printed on the same kind of material that their paper is. It's not backed by as much metals. Now, a big thing I also want to say is we're moving into this 2012 shift, and be thankful that we live in Canada, at least for most people, because as far as overpopulation is concerned, there's some people saying the world is overpopulated. I don't want to get into that theory if it is or isn't, because as far as Canada is concerned, we are amongst one of the biggest geographical sized countries in the world, and our population is tiny. Our country is a little bit bigger than the United States, yet we have like 12% of their population. So what I'm thinking here is, where we have the area of the United States, we got Texas, California, Mexico City, Florida, we got all those areas together, we got all those millions of co-creators together. They're going to have this overpopulation feeling, which I don't think is that good. Here in Canada, we have the opposite. We have the underpopulation, which I think is going to be more healthy. Now, I know if you live in the GTA area, it's a little populated there, but if you're outside of that area, even if you're in like Markham, I think things are going to work out pretty fine. You look at the Canadian map, you see lakes through the yin-yang. I know even the town where I'm at, we make spring water for Michigan, Ohio, just many different places. And that's because we have so much water in this country that most likely we're going to help out our neighbors down below us south of the border. because of how much water that we have. We have a lot of resources, a lot of wood, a lot of trees. We have a lot of oil in Alberta. We have silver, silver wheaten, gold, Barrick gold. We have a lot of resources that is most likely going to help us through these times. But this collapse is global. Gerald Celente has been saying it's global. I've been using the Mayan calendar. I'm saying it's global. It's going to affect us one way or the other. And when the revolution happens for the dollar is fiat, it's going to affect the Canadians. Just like the stock market crash of 08, our market crashed also. We've seen the TSX go from 15,000 down below 10,000 in a matter of days, it seemed. So it's going to manifest our way over here. The suggestion is to get out of the Canadian dollar. What I have been using to see as indicators, look to see how things are going in California. After California does their things, the rest of the American places should be going through it, and then Canada after that. It's part of the 2012 shift. It is real, folks, and this is the time in which the collapse is happening. Webbot, which is a program that I think tracks the law of attraction, co-creation, predicts that around the fall of this year. I use the Mayan calendar. It has the exact same dates also, so they both come together. Good luck, everybody. Peace and light. Bye-bye.